80 for telling my neighbor to control her dog after it destroyed my garden. Hey, Reddit, I found myself in a prickly situation with my neighbor, and I'm genuinely unsure if I crossed a line. Here's what happened. I, 35 ferrets, have spent months cultivating a beautiful garden in my backyard. It's been my sanctuary during these trying times, and I've poured my heart and soul into it. Enter my neighbor, Rachel, 30 ferrets, who has this energetic and rather large dog named Buster. Yesterday afternoon, I was tending to my garden when I noticed Buster roaming around in my yard. I didn't think much of it initially, assuming he might have just wandered over for a moment. However, to my horror, I soon realized that he was actively digging up my flower beds and trampling over my carefully nurtured plants. Naturally, I rushed out to shoo him away and found Rachel leisurely chatting with another neighbor. I approached them, trying to keep my cool, and asked Rachel to control Buster, mentioning the damage he was causing to my garden. Her response shocked me. She casually shrugged it off, saying, "He's just being a dog." Feeling frustrated, I explained how much effort I had put into my garden and asked if she could keep Buster on a leash or supervise him more closely. She scoffed at my request, saying that dogs need to roam freely and that I was being overly possessive of my plants. This led to a heated exchange, with me insisting on responsible pet ownership and her accusing me of being too uptight. I could see Buster continuing to wreak havoc in my garden, and I reached a breaking point. I firmly told Rachel that if she couldn't control her dog, he was not welcome in my yard. Rachel was offended and called me unreasonable, arguing that I was making a big deal out of nothing. I held my ground, telling her that I had a right to protect my property and the countless hours I had invested in my garden. The confrontation left us both angry and resentful, and Rachel stormed off with Buster in tow. Now, I'm left wondering if I handled the situation poorly. Ada for telling my neighbor to control her dog and essentially banning him from my yard. Should I have been more understanding, or is it fair to expect responsible pet ownership from neighbors? This morning, I woke up to find a passive-aggressive note from Rachel in my mailbox, accusing me of being unfriendly and overly obsessed with my garden. She suggested that I should be more laid back and learn to share the space. I'm torn, Reddit. On one hand, I love my garden and want to protect it, but on the other, I don't want to be the neighbor who causes unnecessary tension. Ada for standing my ground, or should I have let Buster roam freely and hoped for the best?